What's up, y'all? Black and White Country here, and figured I'd give y'all a little video today about this tank that I built. I built this tank at school. This is going to be a diesel transfer tank, and it holds about 105 gallons. Can't really pop one of these things off to show you. But I built it out of 3/16 mild steel, and the dimensions on it, this way, it is 16 across here. It is from top to bottom, or bottom to top, whatever. It is 32 inches tall, and it is 48 inches wide. And doing the math on that, converting that into cubic inches, it comes out to around 24,500 something cubic inches. It's about 500 gallons, about 100 gallons. I put it together with a MIG gun, short circuit MIG. I was running about 20 volts and probably 250 inches a minute on a Lincoln 300 MPX machine, I want to say it was. I could be wrong. But a cool part about it is, so this has got 6 sides on it, right? These 2 big sides right here, the two big sides, this side and that one on over there, and this top, come out exactly, because this is 16 by 32. This is this is 16 by 48, and so is the bottom. And this big piece right here is 32 by 48 times 2, and that comes out to exactly 96 by 48, which is what the pieces of sheet steel cost. So those 4 sides right there were all made out of exactly 1 plate of steel. These 2 sides came out of the second plate of steel, and I have a bunch of it sitting over there on my metal pile. But the 2 plates of steel cost me $420. Buying all 4 of these hooks cost me, I want to say that cost me $16, something like that. I bought this angle iron. I really couldn't put a price on that because I bought a shit ton of it off of a guy that had it in his scrap pile for like 200 bucks. And this stuff is paid for itself, just using it on jobs and whatever else, and charging out $20 here for material and $50 here for material, using a piece of angle iron for something, or cutting a piece of angle iron into a piece of plate. The angle iron is paid for itself, so I don't consider that a cost. But you can see the welds here. They look bad just because it's rusty and shit. It sits outside, but it's gonna sit outside forever. A lot of these welds on the outside look really, boogery, but these outside corner joints are really hard to do sometimes, and they can be kind of a bitch. By the way, I hope you guys like the new camera quality. I got a new phone. I can do longer videos now. It's got like 4 times as much storage on it and shit, so I always ran into problems with videos I do in the past because I'd run out of storage space and the video would just stop halfway through, and it'd be really stupid, like abrupt finishes. But these hooks aren't really for doing anything. Like, this is going to be up against the headache rack on a truck, and these are for like tying off a cooler, or if I want to tie something from this one to that one over there, I can tie something to here instead of tying it off to the rub rail. But I'm going to drill some holes in this and all 3 of these pieces of angle iron, and it's going to get bolted to the bed. These fittings are 2-inch MPT fittings. I got these from fueltankparts.com. I think the 2 of them together cost me 20 bucks. They're like $3 parts, but I had to get them shipped, and shipping was like 10 bucks. So, it is what it is. So I think it cost me like 25 bucks or something like that to get both of them. And 2-inch MPT is what all like fuel tank transfer pumps take, the hand pumps, the DC pumps, they're all made to screw into a 2-inch MPT fitting. I had to do some jerry rigging at the Home Depot, and fortunately I ran into the guy that works in the plumbing department at the Home Depot on Epps Road in Athens. That guy is fucking awesome, because he got me everything I needed to make this little pressure testing rig right here. So I didn't want to fill this tank up with water to make sure that it didn't have a leak, because I don't want water in a diesel tank. So I figured I'd pressurize it with air and see if it would hold pressure. Unfortunately, I didn't get a gauge, I got a regulator. So the only way to figure out if it was holding any air, so you have the ball valve open, right? And it's filling it up full of air, but this gauge only reads if there's actual air flow. The second I close this gauge, I close this valve, there's pressure inside this tank, and this tank is completely alone. It has its pressure inside of here, but the gauge immediately bottoms out to 0 because it only reads air flow, not air pressure. Yeah, so that was an issue, but I still made it work. I figured I couldn't get it to leak out of anywhere but out of here and out of here. So I reckon it's fine. If it has a little leak in it, it won't be a big deal to patch it up a little bit with one of my stick welders or something like that. Oh, the other thing, you can't see it from the outside, but you can see where I welded it. I just tacked it in there. There's a baffle in here, and you can see where it was getting hot right here. Just there's a baffle in it to keep the fluid from sloshing back and forth in it. But this thing was pretty cool. It took me a few days to do it in school. I did it mostly by myself. I had a few of my buddies at school help me tack it together. These lifting eyes, I got these lifting eyes at school. My instructor had a bunch of these cut out. I guess they were scrap, because they get a lot of weird shit. They get like big pallets of fucking cut out circles of different sizes and stuff, just scrap left over from places that want to donate to the school. So these are actually stainless steel, but they welded together pretty nice. That's a pretty decent weld, if I say so myself, for doing it uphill. You know, they had holes in them right here, I guess, for bolts, but I just filled them in. And I had to pick this thing up out of the back of the truck with the tractor, and it held up fine. The holes are too small for the hook to go all the way through, and the hook is too small to hook onto these, but I was able to make it work through, you know, it not being my first day, if you know what I mean. Not an idiot. But anyways, I hope y'all like this video. I'll be sure to make a video of putting the pump on it and things like that, seeing if it holds fuel or not, and I'll let y'all guys know. But I think this is definitely a winner. I mean, it did take me a lot of work, but I mean, anybody with a MIG, with just about any size MIG gun and a good flat table can make one of these, because you can cut all this stuff with a angle grinder. That's not even a problem. I've cut way more feet of cut with an angle grinder on a job than I did all these with a plasma cutter, and honestly, I think an angle grinder, a big angle grinder, would do better for cutting all this stuff, because it'd be less cleanup. I spent probably an hour or 2 hours cleaning up all the dross and stuff off the edges of the plates where I'd cut it with a plasma cutter, and it, you know, to each his own. It don't make a difference to me what y'all use to cut y'all's. But anybody could make one of these, you know, if you're a half decent welder. I welded mine inside and out, but obviously with a box, you know, like, you have to put on your last piece And when you put your last piece on, you can't be inside there to weld it unless you want to be in there forever, you know. So every joint on here is welded inside and out except for the top. The top is only welded on the top because I figured that would be the side that had the least amount of pressure and the least amount of like worry about, like, if it leaks at the top, it's not really that big of a deal. If it leaks in one of those bottom corners, that's a way bigger deal. You know, if it leaks right here, you get a little bit of fuel sloshing out of it or whatever, a little leak, not the end of the world. If it leaks down here, that's all your fuel. You know, so that's a pretty big deal. But I think I made the right call on that being the piece to not weld inside and out as opposed to any one of these other ones. But like I said, hope y'all enjoy this video, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.